Potter Profile Special on Slytherin House, a cast, Aspell series. Slytherin is one of the 4 houses at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, founded by Salazar Slytherin. Salazar wanted the Sorting Hat to select students who possessed certain traits that he valued, such as cunning, resourcefulness, leadership, and ambition. Slytherin students often formed cliques, demonstrating their ambitious nature. Notable groups include Draco Malfoy's gang and Tom Riddle's gang, which eventually became the Death Eaters. Salazar Slytherin, the founder of Slytherin House, had a strong preference for pure-blood students, which the Sorting Hat acknowledged could influence its decisions during the sorting ceremony. Although students from any blood status could be sorted into Slytherin, Muggle-born students were quite uncommon within the house. The symbol of Slytherin House is a snake, and its colours are green and silver. 2 prominent heads of the house have been Horace Slughorn and Severus Snape. Slughorn served as head twice, first from before 1981 until he left, and then he returned to the role from 1997 until just before 2016. Slytherin is often connected to the element of water because, in Western European mythology, serpents are typically linked to the sea and lakes. Additionally, serpents are known for their fluid and flexible movements. The house colours also reflect this water connection. Green represents the shades found in lakes, while silver resembles the colour of rainwater. Slytherins are known for being ambitious, clever, and resourceful. They are natural leaders who focus on achieving their goals. Slytherins also prioritise self-preservation, which makes them think carefully before making decisions, considering all possible outcomes. Salazar Slytherin valued students who were smart, determined, and sometimes willing to bend the rules. Interestingly, Albus Dumbledore pointed out that Harry Potter, a Gryffindor, had many of these traits as well and was almost sorted into Slytherin. Overall, Slytherins are confident in their abilities and often take on leadership roles, showing strong loyalty to those they care about. Some Slytherins often experience deep, unreturned love. For example, Severus Snape and the Bloody Baron both had strong feelings for Lily Evans and Helena Ravenclaw, but those feelings were never returned. While some Slytherins, like Tom Riddle, couldn't feel love at all, those who did held on to their emotions deeply and purely, often leading to heartbreak because they struggled to express their feelings properly. Although Merope Riddle probably never went to Hogwarts and wasn't sorted into Slytherin, she was a descendant of Salazar Slytherin himself. She shared some traits with those in Slytherin, especially her strong, unreturned love for Tom Riddle Sr., who often passed by her home on his carriage. The Sorting Hat indicated that blood purity played a role in choosing Slytherins. While it wasn't the most important factor, it meant that the student's family background was considered along with their personal traits. While there were a few Muggle-borns in Slytherin, they were extremely rare, as mentioned in a derogatory comment by Scabia the Snatcher. There have been clear examples of half-bloods who were sorted into Slytherin, including Tom Riddle, Dolores Umbridge, and Severus Snape. It's important to note that being a pureblood didn't guarantee a spot in Slytherin, as some purebloods like the Weasley family, Sirius Black, Neville Longbottom, and James Potter were sorted into Gryffindor, while Ernie Macmillan ended up in Hufflepuff. The idea that blood purity influenced Slytherin's admissions comes from Salazar Slytherin, one of the founders of Hogwarts. He wanted to limit enrollment to only pure-blood students, which went against the beliefs of the other founders who wanted to accept all students, regardless of their blood status. While many Slytherin students believed in blood purity, not everyone in the house agreed with this idea. For instance, the legendary wizard Merlin, who was in Slytherin, actually supported Muggle rights. However, due to the house's founding principles by Salazar Slytherin, many students still appeared to uphold these views, even after 1,000 years. The sorting hat tended to place students who shared Salazar's beliefs into Slytherin, which reinforced this idea over time. An example of this can be seen in December 1992, when the password for the Slytherin common room was "pure blood," highlighting the ongoing connection to those old beliefs. Slytherin and Gryffindor were major rivals, especially in Quidditch and for the House Cup. Before Harry Potter arrived at Hogwarts in 1991, Slytherin had won the cup for 6 consecutive years. Generally, students from these two houses didn't get along, often feeling animosity toward each other. However, there were some notable friendships between members of the two houses. For example, Merlin from Slytherin was friends with Sir Cadogan from Gryffindor, and the Bloody Baron from Slytherin had a good relationship with Sir Nicholas from Gryffindor. Additionally, Severus Snape from Slytherin and Lily Evans from Gryffindor were best friends until Snape's use of the term mudblood and his desire to become a Death Eater led Lily to end their friendship. During the First and Second Wizarding Wars, Gryffindor and Slytherin had a strong rivalry. In the Second War, no Slytherin students joined Dumbledore's army. This was mainly because Hermione Granger, Ron Weasley and Harry Potter only invited those they trusted, and they didn't trust Slytherins due to their ongoing conflicts. Slytherin's interactions with the other two houses, Hufflepuff and Ravenclaw, varied, but the rivalry with Gryffindor was particularly strong. By the time Harry Potter attended Hogwarts, Hufflepuff and Ravenclaw were fed up with Slytherin's 6-year winning streak in the House Cup. They supported Gryffindor in their attempts to end it, even turning against Harry and his friends when their rule-breaking caused Gryffindor to lose 150 points, which allowed Slytherin to take the lead. This rivalry continued during Quidditch matches, with both Hufflepuff and Ravenclaw backing Gryffindor whenever they played against Slytherin. Slytherin is often seen as the house that produces dark witches and wizards. Many people believe that all dark wizards come from Slytherin, especially since Voldemort was a former student there. While it's true that several dark wizards were in Slytherin, it's not accurate to say that every one of them was. For example, Peter Pettigrew, who betrayed Harry's parents, was in Gryffindor, and Quirinus Quirrell, the first enemy of Harry, was in Ravenclaw. This reputation has led to unfair bias against Slytherin as a whole. We don't know exactly how many dark witches and wizards came from Slytherin before Voldemort started recruiting Death Eaters, but many of them were from families that valued blood purity and preferred to be in Slytherin to find followers, just like Riddle did. In more balanced terms, Slytherin has produced many good witches and wizards who opposed the dark arts and discrimination against those with Muggle ancestry. For example, Horace Slughorn, Andromeda Tonks, and Leta Lestrange were all members of Slytherin who stood against these beliefs. Andromeda, in particular, had family ties to well-known dark wizards like her sister Bellatrix Lestrange and her brother-in-law Lucius Malfoy. However, she chose to reject her family's values by marrying Ted Tonks, a Muggle-born wizard. Leta Lestrange was quite different from her family. While they often leaned towards darker paths, she had a kind but often self-critical nature. Leta loved both Newt Scamander and Theseus Scamander, and she was ambitious in her career, but without being ruthless. Her bravery shone through when facing Gellert Grindelwald, which set her apart from others like Queenie Goldstein, who quickly sided with Grindelwald despite her otherwise compassionate nature. Additionally, Severus Snape, who was also a Slytherin, ultimately pledged his loyalty to Albus Dumbledore. He became a triple agent for the Order of the Phoenix, showing a level of loyalty that was in stark contrast to Peter Pettigrew. Pettigrew, a former Gryffindor, betrayed his friends and became a double agent for the Death Eaters. Crabbe and Goyle may have been sorted into Slytherin mainly because they didn't fit well in any other house. They lacked the traits that define Hufflepuff, like hard work and honesty. They weren't known for the intelligence of Ravenclaw, and they certainly didn't show the bravery associated with Gryffindor. The Sorting Hat likely considered where they wanted to be, and, given their family ties, Slytherin was the obvious choice. Regarding the behavior of Slytherin House during the Battle of Hogwarts, there is some disagreement. Most Slytherins left the school before the battle began, and a few joined their families as Death Eaters. However, many Slytherins returned to help fight against the Death Eaters, led by their head of house, Horace Slughorn. The traits of Slytherins, like cunning and ambition, are often seen as negative, but they aren't always bad. Other house traits, such as bravery, intelligence, and loyalty, can also lead to negative outcomes. One trait that can be viewed negatively is self-preservation. It sometimes seems like Slytherins care more about themselves than others, which can make people distrust them. For example, Phineas Nigellus Black commented on this when he saw Harry Potter trying to escape out of fear for his friend's safety. He remarked, "We Slytherins are brave, yes, but not stupid. When it comes down to it, we'll always choose to save our own necks." However, there are exceptions. Severus Snape is an example. Harry described him as a Slytherin and probably the bravest man I ever knew. Another exception is Regulus Black, who sacrificed his life to help destroy one of Voldemort's Horcruxes, even telling his house elf creature to save himself. While many dark wizards came from Slytherin House, not all Slytherins were dark or evil. In fact, some were kind and accepted others. Students from Slytherin demonstrate notable talent in potions, as evidenced by Harry's 2 potions professors, Severus Snape and Horace Slughorn, both of whom were members of this house. Slytherin students also show a particular aptitude for occlumency, with many known practitioners in the series hailing from this house, including Voldemort, Severus Snape, Bellatrix Lestrange, Narcissa Malfoy, and Horace Slughorn. By 2017, J.K. Rowling indicated that Slytherin is no longer the stronghold of purebloods it once was. However, its dark reputation persists, contributing to Albus Potter's anxieties. Notably, Slytherin is the first Hogwarts house introduced in the series by Draco Malfoy, and also the last one referenced by Albus Potter. In early drafts of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, members of Slytherin were referred to as Slitherites.